Hello, everyone. My name is Lerato Tshabalala. Um, I have been in the media industry now for over 20 years. I started off as a journalist. I worked in magazines. I worked for newspapers like the Sunday Times, where I had a column which resulted in a book called The Way I See It. Some of you may have read it. And I currently host a podcast called Relevant. You can listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts. And I'm also an executive creative director at an advertising agency. And so when you hear me talk about everything that I do, you can tell that my career has sort of uh, meandered. And I think that's not a bad thing for somebody who is in journalism or is thinking of being a journalist. My advice to anybody who wants to get into this industry is to understand that your voice matters. Um, Understand that using it properly will sometimes get you into trouble. Uh, uh, but John C. Lewis talked about getting into some good trouble, and I believe in getting into good trouble in order to start a conversation. But also, it can be used constructively to get people to talk about things that matter to you. And luckily, with the digital age, you don't need to use where you are employed to do that. You know, you can have your own platform as long as you have a phone. You can, you know, have a YouTube channel. You can start your own mini talk show. You can really use your voice outside of what you get paid to speak about the things that mean something to you. Um, but I think it's important for everybody to be aware that journalism is changing, that there's a lot of things that are clearly wrong with it around the world, not just in South Africa. So how do we get to a place of understanding the role of journalists in this time that we're living in? I think probably my big sister advice would be, don't just study journalism, study something else. Make sure you either do some kind of digital course, but do something that is beyond journalism, because while journalism gets redefined, the way we know it and interact with it um, is also changing as a society. So I think you don't want to hinge your bets on one thing, but definitely study journalism um, just for the sake of knowing the rules of how to report, but also be aware that the 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 space it's in is a tricky space. I think we will get over this time. Yeah, my advice would be, um, if you're a journalist, ask yourself, um, are you standing on the side of truth? And is your voice being heard? If not, what can you do to be heard? And take your voice seriously. Take your feelings and what you think and what you see around you seriously. Um, and I'd say be brave with your life, okay? Journalism is not an easy career, so be brave with your life, everyone.